That's right, bedroom insults when we're experiencing performance anxiety or erection problems. If you're a man and you've been insulted in the bedroom, this video is for you. I'll be talking about why bedroom insults happen and how do we avoid them happening? How do we move past that? First up, if you find this video helpful, in the bottom right, you will see a box that says subscribe. Click on that box so that you can get the latest videos and tools as I share them. All right, so first up, I'm going to share some examples of what the types of insults that can come up in the bedroom. I'll be sharing examples that I've heard from other men that I've spoken to about this around the world. And then we're going to talk through why does that happen? And then finally, what to do about it? How do we get this sorted so that we avoid insults, embarrassment, and feeling awkward in the bedroom? So stick around for these few minutes. So first up, what are some examples of the insults? Well, I wrote down a list of, from guys that I've worked with, different insults that I have heard. I'm just going to share them with you. See if you can relate, or if you have your own insults that you have been attacked with, I'd love to hear what are those in the comments. All right, drop them in there. So first, you can't even make love to your wife. You can't even make love to your wife. That's pretty harsh. Another one, you better get this sorted out. And it was like a finger pointing, you better get this sorted out. Another one, this is not an insult, but it's definitely an attack in that moment. Are you gay? Is this because you're gay? Another one, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Is it because of me? So again, another attack in that moment. What's wrong with you? Is this because of me? You can't even last for a few minutes. Can't even last for a few minutes, right? As an attack, as an insult. And then another one that I wrote down, does this mean we should get a divorce, right? Even that, does this mean we should get a divorce? So those are just a few examples. I could keep on going down that list, but these are a few examples of actual bedroom insults and attacks and criticisms that have happened. Now, why does this happen? Why do partners respond in this way? Is it because they actually want to be nasty and harsh to us and they've been waiting for a secret opportunity to do it? No. And I think we both know that, right? Unless we're in a relationship with a narcissist. So why does this happen? It happens because, quite simply, our partner feels unsafe in this moment. This is a really important thing to grasp. Our partner feels unsafe in this moment. They don't know if it is because of them. They don't know if it's because of the relationship or the bond that has been built. What does it mean? Am I safe? Am I loved? These are two questions that we ask ourselves very often. Am I safe? Am I loved? And in this moment, a person can feel unsafe, and a question mark could potentially be around them feeling loved or not. So what does this mean? It doesn't mean that you don't love them because of performance anxiety. It doesn't mean that they're unsafe, but that is just how they're interpreting it. And so the attack, the insult, the you better get this sorted, is a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. So we have to see that as a defense mechanism and know how to disarm it, which I'm going to come on in a moment too. Because the alternative is that we also get caught up in that insult and that criticism. We take it on and then we shame ourselves about it, right? We have shame enough as it is when it comes to performance anxiety and erection challenges. We don't need to then take on a double shame of what my partner has said to me, right? Which is often what we do. It's our own internal shame about how do I get this figured out? What's wrong with me? These types of questions. And then we take on the shame of our partner saying, is it because of this? Should we get a divorce, right? This just adds and stacks pressure. And so that's one route. But the other route, and this is the more favorable route that we want to take, is understanding when they say the thing. No matter what the words are, if it's an attack, if it's a shame comment, if it's a criticism, that we see that as, okay, they feel unsafe in this moment, and that's why they've responded in that way. And I'm going to respond to that to reassure them. And now we're coming on to the how we avoid it, right? So this is how we work through those moments and how ultimately we avoid these attacks coming in the first place. So just to recap, we've spoken so far about examples of criticisms and attacks and shames that can come our way. And we've spoken about why this happens is because our partner feels unsafe. Final step here is, how do we get that sorted? How do we get this sorted? So the first thing is, when an attack comes our way, we see it as, this is because they feel unsafe, right? We don't get caught up in the words or the drama of it. We see it as, okay, they're doing this because they feel unsafe. It's my job to reassure them in that moment. Reassuring them, by the way, doesn't mean that we accept their attack. No, there's a way to deal with it, which is what we're going to go through now. So the first thing is to say, look, I'm working on this and I don't have all of the answers. So we've acknowledged the situation, right? I'm working on this and I don't have all of the answers right now. The second thing is then we're also making it clear that that isn't helping. Their attack or their shame or criticism isn't helping. And we're not saying this in an attacky way, we're just saying it in a factual way. So I'm working on this, I don't have all the answers right now. And when you say that, I notice that it adds more pressure. It adds more pressure in this moment, right? So I'm working on this, don't have all the answers right now. And when you say that attack or that insult, it adds more pressure. And I could really do with your support, right? Instead of the attack, I could actually really do with your support whilst I work through this, because I want to get it sorted. I love you, I want to be with you, I want to get this sorted, and I would really appreciate your support. Okay, so we're reassuring them that they are safe. We're also communicating that it's not okay to communicate in that way, because it's not, right? It's not okay to be attacked in that way or criticized in that way. So we're making that clear, but from a grounded point of view, rather than how dare you say that to me, you always, we're not getting caught up in that drama. So we're responding with a factual, grounded, when you say that, I actually feel like it adds more pressure in the moment, which is difficult. And instead, I would really appreciate your support to get this sorted, to be able to work through this, because I do love you, I do want to be with you. So that's an example of how we can reposition it when there is an attack or an insult in the bedroom. Ultimately, how do we avoid bedroom embarrassment and awkwardness? And that's by getting sexual performance anxiety and erection problems sorted so that you can feel normal again. How do we do that? First thing is actually figuring out, is this performance anxiety or is it something else? To do that, I've developed a very simple test called the bedroom test. This is a free test. It's going to take you seconds to understand, is this performance anxiety, and to know that answer, to get to the bottom of this. So if that sounds good to you, then in the comments below, you'll see the link to the bedroom test.